Coming up in the morning edition, hear about the country's economic plans to rebound after the global pandemic. Also,
as a nation and as a Minister of Health, I don't want us to go back through what we've been through in the second wave.
Health officials remain hopeful about the future as the world awaits a COVID-19 vaccine. And
this was the first time in the hospital. And we never come back home.
A widow shares her heart-wrenching story after losing her spouse to COVID-19. Those stories and much more when the morning edition comes. We're right back.
First, it's more than just our name, more than just our achievements. It's our nature, and it's where we put our customers. At Bahamas First, we've refreshed our look, but our nature remains the same. We design insurance solutions that protect our customers from life's uncertainties, whatever they may be. We equip you for the future so that you can recover stronger. Bahamas First, what's first for you comes first for us.
We're here to help you. We're here to hold your hand. We're here to support you.
I think it's everyone who sacrifices their life to serve the needs of others are all heroes.
So we all just kind of get together and do what's right for our patients.
The human connection is what bonds all of us. I'm truly proud to be part of the Pineapple family.
What matters most is your health. Be proactive about it.
Good morning, everyone. I'm LaDawn Davis. Thank you so much for waking up with us. We still have cool and breezy conditions on the outside, but your weather will be partly sunny and generally fair, becoming cooler tonight. Quick passing showers also likely in the central and southeast Bahamas. Warnings are also still out for beachgoers and mariners. We now head on out to our streets where Lloyd Allen and the morning traffic team are standing by with your traffic commute.
The traffic report is sponsored by Bahamas First. First in insurance. Today, tomorrow.
Well, good morning, LaDawn. Good morning, Bahamas. A great start to your Thursday morning. We are giving you your first look at traffic, this one coming in from the intersection of Wolf Road and Mackey Street. Now, it's a much different scene from what we saw yesterday in the Carmichael Road area. It's not as busy here. However, we are advising motorists that as you approach this area, that you approach with caution and care. This morning, I'm also joined by Corporal Patrick Camp from the Royal Bahamas Police Force Traffic Division, giving us a look at traffic over the past 24-hour period.
Good morning, Mr. Allen, and good morning, Bahamas. Within the last 24 hours or so, we have had some 13 plus accidents. None of these accidents that occurred are minor accidents so far. However, to date, we have 11 persons that are still hospitalized as a result of the accident. One person that is still in any condition. I'm going to continue to encourage the drivers out there to drive with due care and attention and exercise patience, especially during this time.
Now, speaking about this time, we know that the Christmas holiday is just a few weeks away, and some persons are already in the spirit, so to speak. What can you say to drivers for the matter of drinking and driving?
Well, as you know, the laws have already been passed in reference to driving while drinking. Drinking and driving, and driving with an open beverage bottle in your vehicle. It is a ticketable offense that carries a fine of over $300, and you will be fined for it. You will find yourself before the magistrate in reference to this. This is the time to be responsible. Be responsible, exercise patience, show brotherly love and respect for persons, especially again during this time.
And then finally, Officer Camp, I see that you have a piece of cardboard in your hand. It's obviously not a board game, but tell us, what is it?
No, it's not a board game. It is not something they brought to read notes off. It's certainly something not defined, as cool as it is. This year is something that we have to deal with on a regular basis, Mr. Allen. I want persons to get a closer look at this. What you're seeing here is what we call fraudulent use of license plate. All right? Some smart person decided that they were going to make up a number, print it off. As you can see, it looks like the real deal, but it's actually cardboard. This is unacceptable, and I'm going to encourage my officers out there to continue to be vigilant, to pay special attention to things like this, the plates and license disc, This year carries a fine of over $250, and not only is arrestable, it carries a fine and jail time, which is at the discretion of the magistrate. You will find yourself before the court. It's stuff like this that is unacceptable. And what makes it worse is when you get an accident, especially a hit-and-run accident, which I will encourage persons out there involved with hit-and-run matters, please remain on the scene. Try to get as much information from those persons driving those vehicles as possible. Do not engage with these people, all right? Very important, try to get the license plate number, a brief description of the vehicle, make and model, any distinct markings on the vehicle, dents, discoloration. That helps us to pursue these persons and bring them before the court. Also, try to get a sense of direction as to which area the vehicle would have left traveling in. These are serious times, and I'm going to encourage persons to be vigilant and, again, exercise patience, and to my officers to continue paying attention, special attention, to these criminal activities such as this.
And then, of course, I know that it's been an issue, but you've actually been successful in identifying these based on your stop and search initiatives.
And you're going to find a lot of that happening, especially during this time, Mr. Allen. There's going to be an increase in police presence, stop and search, and yeah, I'm giving you a heads up for the persons out there who are doing this kind of foolishness. Stop it, because you will be caught and you will be brought before the court and will be dealt with to the fullest extent of the law. And to the officers out there, again, good job. They're doing an excellent job there, working overtime and trying our best to keep the streets safe and protect those persons out there, citizens of this country. This year is definitely a no-no, and it's a problem.
And of course, that's a complete look at your Thursday traffic report from the area of Mackey Street and Wolf Road for the morning edition. Lloyd Allen, ZNS Network News.
Now, off the top this Thursday, the Bahamian economy stands hopeful as it struggles from the severe blow from the current pandemic. A central bank report notes that the fall-off in revenue and the continued rise in spending is leading to the further increase in the deficit during the first quarter of the fiscal year. Meantime, the International Monetary Fund notes that the priorities of saving lives for the Bahamas while setting the stage for robust recovery will require a package of near-term fiscal support, as well as credible plans to secure fiscal and financial sustainability. Now, the government is also noting that despite the toll of the pandemic and the recent hurricane, the Bahamas is receiving international recognition for its policy priorities. Additionally, the government is preparing to present its 2020 fiscal strategy report later this month. A compendium of bills designed to improve the ease of doing business in the Bahamas and bring us in line with other jurisdictions passed in the House on Wednesday. Yamacraw Member of Parliament and Minister of Immigration and Financial Services, the Honorable Ellsworth Johnson, wrapped up the debate, but acknowledged frontline workers in the COVID fight and where we are today.
A number of other European countries on lockdown, the U.S. and Latin America. The Bahamas is on the downward trend. And so I want to commend all the frontline workers who've been working extremely hard, especially the present Minister of Health, former Minister of Health, for the work that they've done. And I know I hear the leader, the Honorable Member for Cat Island, speaking about the confusion. But in the midst of everything and the hard hit that this country has taken, the nurses, doctors, prison officers, police officers, and I admire them when they go into a crowd and disperse the crowd. And they are humane in their approach to people that they know for the work that they've been doing, Mr. Speaker.
While opposition members supported the compendium of bills in the House of Assembly, opposition leader and member of Parliament for Cat Island, Rumkey and San Salvador, Philip Davis, raising questions about the mandatory quarantine of residents traveling to the Family Islands from the capital.
Why would the medical people advise you to let the foreigner come in after getting a travel visa and don't have to quarantine, but the Bahamian who got goes through the same process, they get the same visa, if he or she travels, have to quarantine? How could that be right?
Meantime, Tourism and Aviation Minister and Freetown Member of Parliament, the Honorable Dionisio de Aguilar, had this response to the concerns raised by the opposition leader.
It is a traveler. That traveler can be Bahamian as well. So it's any traveler that's going directly into a family island, I agree, does not require. That traveler can also be Bahamian. So I know you want to score the political point that we're foreign-centric, or it is a traveler, a Bahamian or a non-Bahamian going into that. And yes, I agree, Mr. Speaker, we are in the process of rolling out the domestic visa, and we're going to put, well, I wouldn't say visa, domestic health card, to get that up and running in order to monitor as advised. You know, that the health officials are always very concerned that what happens here in Nassau, and we know that there was community spread in New Providence, and we know that the health facilities in the family islands are limited, and we really wanted to ensure that we didn't facilitate the spread into the family islands. So what we're going to do is we're building that infrastructure, and there are, you know, even though there is the view that, you know, the foreigners are, you know, it isn't. So what we're trying to do is to bring it out. Phase one was people coming from an international destination, foreigner and Bahamian, okay, and then we were going to move with domestic travel.
A major battle won in the worldwide fight against COVID-19 is as the United States or the use of a vaccine for its citizens. Locally, Minister of Health, the Honorable Renwood Wells, says the government is shopping around for all available alternatives as the Pfizer vaccine, although promising, comes with its fair share of price and logistical challenges.
As you know, you have to keep it at negative 80 degrees Fahrenheit, which is excessively cold. So we were looking to purchase freezers if we do go the route of Pfizer. If we go the route of Moderna, which doesn't need that kind of freezer equipment, obviously it would be less expensive for the Bahamian people. But we're looking to source vaccines immediately. We have the right to purchase vaccines beyond that 80,000 doses from any of the other companies. So it's not just going to be 80,000 doses. The Oxford vaccine, I believe, is like £2, which is somewhere around, you know, if you round it up, about $4 per dose. I think the one through the COVAX facility is like $15 per dose.
Stay close, we've got more right after this. You're watching The Morning Edition.
Man, the place look good, man. I have a good feeling about this.
Yes.
How much can you get me this place for?
My best friend's cousin's dog's owner's maid is George Bush's second cousin. I got the hookup. I got the hookup down there, and I got the hookup with all the politicians over here. They'll be glad to get this drama in this land off their hands.
Friends, family and pasta goompa. Friends, family and pasta goompa. Your favorite TV show.
A lot of pain some of us feeling, and we can show you some healing. This is the roughest of times, the toughest of times. Got us staring at the ceiling.
The Ministry of National Security and the National Neighborhood Watch Council want you to get ready for the We Are One national campaign coming to your neighborhood this November. Bahamians and residents throughout the length and breadth of the Bahamas, from Grand Bahama in the north to Anagua in the south. Let's get together for a common cause. Yes, the struggle is real, but as neighbors together, we can heal. Let's get through this crisis together, because hand in hand, together through this crisis, we will stand. Remember, no matter which island you're from,
we are one.
This message brought to you by the Ministry of National Security, the National Neighborhood Watch Council, in conjunction with the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas, and this sponsor.
During this pandemic, it is our duty to ensure that all citizens, residents, and visitors are adhering to the COVID-19 safety protocol. Restaurants may operate utilizing curbside pickup, drive-through, takeaway, or delivery. Any establishment who allows the entry of any person not wearing a mask is liable upon a summary conviction to a fine of $500. I am Ambassador Ashanti Ruka of the COVID-19 Enforcement Unit. Save a life that may be your own.
This message brought to you by the Ministry of National Security in conjunction with the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas.
Welcome back. Over in Grand Bahama, the Chamber President is sharing his projections for the season and why Bahamians should shop at home. Here's Ramiko Knowles.
'Tis the season to be jolly, but for many businesses, this Christmas season may not be as prosperous, as many businesses are struggling to rebound post-Hurricane Dorian and now COVID-19. But President of the Grand Bahama Chamber of Commerce, Greg LaRota, says the outbreak could be good news for local businesses during this Christmas season.
Maybe more folks would tend to shop at home. And so businesses would probably see an uptick in local spending that they would not have seen had it not been for this pandemic. And so overall, I think the numbers would be down. It would not be near what it has been in the past without the virus. But I think you will see probably an uptick in spending by locals at home, especially if the government continue to incentivize us to shop locally. So that's my expectation.
Now, in terms of visitors coming to the island, he believes those numbers may remain down significantly.
We know that a huge majority of our tourists come from right next door in the United States, and we can see in the news what's happening in the United States as far as the control of the virus go. They're nowhere near where they want to or need to be. And so we cannot rely on too much of that happening.
He says if the competent authority continues to incentivize shopping at home, this Christmas season may not be as bleak for local businesses.
One of the things, though, that we saw when we did our survey was that while the government did listen to us, I guess, and remove VAT from local purchases, it seems that for a lot of the persons that import stuff, they still have to pay VAT. And so with them paying the VAT, but not being able to charge it in order to claim it back, then that's still impacting the net savings to persons shopping at home.
And as we gear up for the Yuletide season, the Chamber President advocates for all to shop at home and help those struggling businesses.
When you shop locally, sometimes you may have to pay a little more for an item, but when you do that, you're keeping persons employed. Some of these persons may be family members who you have to give assistance to if they're out of a job. So by you shopping home, you can help the economy to still move along while we're in this period of leanness or struggling. As much as that as can be done, should be done.
Ramiko Knowles, ZNS Network News.
The University of the Bahamas in recent months has been fine-tuning plans to launch a number of master degree programs. According to Dean of Graduate Studies Vic Nair, the phase release is designed to engage key professionals in a number of areas critical to national development.
We have ran this program before in the past, but we stopped this program in 2016. So after a lapse of more than 3 years, we are rolling out the MBA program. This first suite of program that's going to be released in spring. The first one is on accounting. We have the financial decision making, leadership, entrepreneurship and innovation, hospitality management and event management.
Says in the spring, the second phase of the launch will feature Masters by Research programs and doctoral degrees in research. Nair says there is a significant amount of applicants for the program.
We started promoting this program early this year, and we received quite a good response when we first started. But then this was, I'm talking about in January, and then as the pandemic hit us, then the inquiry dropped, and of course, at the same time, we are aware that a lot of the potential students lost their job, or they have some issues in terms of their financial status.
Living through a pandemic is something new for most people. However, lingering behind many of the emotions are effects of abnormal behaviors and unavoidable adjustments. Local psychologist Dr. Wayne Thompson.
Being in isolation for 8 months can cause your system to adjust. And so there is going to have to be the recognition that re-socialization is going to come about. Some persons are going to feel anxious being in small crowds again. Some individuals are going to feel uncomfortable because they've been living in their own small bubble world and their mind.
Dr. Thompson believes constant reinforcement of a positive mindset can go a long way in recalibrating your mind to the road to normalcy.
You have to read positive things that gives you hope, that gives you a reason to be positive. Secondly, it is imperative that we do some form of exercise, whether it is walking, whether it is jump rope, whether it is jogging. The purpose of the exercise is to release endorphins in the brain.
Imagine taking a vow to grow old and spend the rest of your life with your spouse only to have COVID-19 take them away from you just a few weeks before your 7th wedding anniversary. Well, this bodes true for Tanel Allen, who will spend the Christmas holidays with only the precious memories of her late husband, who was the breadwinner of the family.
This was his first time in the hospital, and he never come back out. So yes, I thought he would have come back out because they didn't say he would have died.
Makeup artist Tanel Allen says losing her husband Brian unexpectedly is not only pierced her heart, but left a huge void in their family. The young widow says her husband, a popular electrician and business owner, was diagnosed with kidney disease while battling COVID-19. Luckily, Tanel and her 3 daughters tested negative. She recalls the last interaction she had with her husband while fighting for his life in hospital.
If I didn't come here, I don't think I would have made it tonight. That's what he's telling me on the phone while I was video calling him. And he's like, so I was like, okay. Then I say, so you feeling a little better? He said, yeah, I'm feeling a little better. So that morning, I noticed that he couldn't really talk to us because of what they had on his mouth. So that was my daughter's birthday, so I really wanted him to talk to her before that morning. So that morning when I got him on the phone, I got him to at least wave. She was like, his kidneys is failing. So she said he had some old problems and some new problems. And she said usually, sometimes if it's not that bad, they wanted to start him on dialysis. And if it's not that bad, he probably only need dialysis 2 or 3 times. So she said, we don't want to talk about that. Let's talk about that for the future. So she told me that they were going to start him on dialysis that Sunday.
But Brian never got to undergo dialysis treatments and died in hospital on October 25th, and just a month shy of celebrating their 7th wedding anniversary on November 30th. Tanel says the couple had big plans to celebrate their union. However, she spent their special day weeping at his gravesite.
No, I went and I spoke with him, and I was letting him know I didn't know he would have left so soon. But the girls miss him, and he worked hard enough. You know, he was a hard worker. You know, he never see it. If he's sick, he's to work, and that's just him. So I tell him he deserves his rest. You know, he can rest, and I'll take care of the girls.
With tears in her eyes, Tanel accepts that this year will be the first Christmas without her husband. Like many other families who lost loved ones to the killer virus, Tanel gave these words of comfort.
Pray. Trust in God, because that's what I've been doing. And although I'm tearful, He has given me the strength to push through for me and my daughters. So all you can do is turn to God.
Stay close. We've got more right after this. You're watching The Morning Edition.
I'm Dr. Pinder. During this global pandemic, we ask for you to be responsible. As we fight the COVID-19 virus together, we would like to encourage you to do the following. Wash your hands. Cover your mouth and nose with a flex elbow or tissue when coughing and sneezing. Practice social distancing by staying 6 feet apart. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth, and if you must go out, wear a mask. We stay here for you. Please stay home for us. To those of you on the front line, we salute you as we continue this fight together.
As we continue our series on Disability Awareness Week, Lloyd Allen takes a closer look at the National Commission for Persons with Disabilities and the progress made to assist 40,000 members of that community.
The commission is not an NGO. It is a statutory body which is responsible for the Persons with Disabilities Equal Opportunities Act.
Chairman for the commission, Lester Ferguson, explains in recent years there have been significant strides for disabled Bahamians through the commission.
The National Commission for Persons with Disabilities was established under the Persons with Disabilities Act. And the commission has the responsibility for ensuring the implementation of the act, to make sure that it is enforced when necessary, and to provide public education and awareness.
Ferguson adds that there remain some challenges.
One of the greatest challenges that we have faced as a society, even before the act, was attitude, was just a recognition that everybody wants to have equal access, the same opportunities, that persons with disabilities want to be able to go to school or to further their education or to get a job or to own a home.
On that note, Ferguson celebrates the recent announcement that a number of homes in the New Carmichael Village subdivision are slated for disabled persons at a 50% discount. He says this is a step in the right direction. However, considerations for universal home designs are key for future home owners.
I would hope that in the construction of the homes in that area, that universal design would take precedence, because that's important, not just for persons with disabilities, but it could be a pregnant woman who may not be able to go up so many stairs, or someone who has a temporary ailment or disability.
And with the continuum of disability being so extensive, Ferguson says it is important for disabled people and their families to know the support that exists and to remain hopeful for a better tomorrow.
The Commission, as well as NGOs, the Disability Affairs Division, is always available to help persons who are in need, persons with disabilities and their families. Early next year, the Commission plans to launch a mobile app, and that is going to really be a game changer in terms of providing information for persons with disabilities.
For the morning edition, Lloyd Allen, ZNS Network News.
Thanks a lot, Lloyd. Well, with no Junkanoo this year, Junkanooers are finding ways to be more creative. Charles Fisher has one that is striking a new tune.
You're in heaven now. Your spirit is free.
It's a new song for Junkanooers entitled Junkanoo Anthem, sung by sweet Emily Williams. It is dedicated to those that spend their life in the shop and the celebration of a life of a Junkanooer.
What we did was we incorporated with the storyline of the legacy of the person, and we included the Junkanoo feel of the song. We've had so many persons who have passed on, and there wasn't a fitting song that could actually become like a hymn or an anthem that can be sung at a funeral. And so it was Kippy's idea, really, and he just contacted me, wanted me to write a song. He gave me his vision about the song. I basically wrote the song. He helped me with a few of the lines in getting the idea of what he wanted in the song. So that's how we came about with this Junkanoo anthem.
Anthony Gippy Gibson, the man behind the song, has given close to 50 years to the craft. Building, designing, pasting, you name it.
I was thinking about it for quite some time. For years, we noticed that the military, they have a last post that they perform at the end of the burial. And then you have the Masons who take over a dead person's body, and they have their rituals. So I thought it fitting for Junkanooers to have something similar. Hopefully it goes, viral, that every Junkanoo who participated in Junkanoo at some point, the person who picked up the papers in the shack, person who paced, who did anything, there's a song that would honor them, respect their time that they spent in the shack.
Your spirit is free. Look how the angel stands. We got in, we did the work. I contacted D-Mark. We had Ray Ewing, who also mixed the song and mastered. So Commonwealth Studios are the ones responsible for actually producing the music and the arrangement for the song. And Kelda, Timeless Reading, she helped with some of the backgrounds on the song as well. Nights and days we all spend, remember so well, building your legacy.
The song would be released to the public at least by weekend. but it's being uploaded now to TuneCore, any of your favorite platforms that you can download music from. You should be able to go purchase the music, give the Bahamian support for Junkanoo.
Fitting song. For the morning edition, I'm Charles Fisher.
Thanks a lot, Fisher, and that's a wrap for us on this chilly Thursday morning. For the entire team, I'm LaDawn Davis. Make it a great day, everyone.